It's supposed to just go.
Hey guys, it is the day after our first Beyoncé concert. We are so excited to tell you about our whole trip. We are going to talk about the concert, but we want to just go from beginning to end because it has been magical. And I need you guys to know the entire experience leading up to the concert. You have to know the vibe we were in once we got to this concert. So we're going through the story. Our flight was at 7 in the morning. So I was up at 3:30 to drive to her house. She lives about 45 minutes from me. So I got there. Everything was perfect. We made it on time. We were awake. The Uber situation though was kind of irritating.
Yeah.
Yeah, we called an Uber for the airport, and it kept changing how far away it was. It ended up taking an extra probably 30 minutes or so to wait for the Uber.
And then it took us the long way.
Yeah. So we got at the airport, actually, it was pretty tight. We left on time to be 2 hours early, but we got there I don't even know what time, but by the time we got through security...
It was pretty close.
Yeah, she was getting a coffee. Almost missed the flight.
Seriously.
Yeah, we missed our boarding group. Luckily, I was able to find some seats, and I was one of those people, trying to save the seat next to me. I hate to be that person, but...
But she was for me.
Yeah. I was.
No, yeah, I really almost missed that flight.
Yeah. It was close. She was the very last person to walk on.
Yes.
And I was sitting in the seats because I went ahead to save a seat because we went Southwest, so there's not assigned seating, We wanted the 2 free bags so we could bring everything. And yeah, I missed my boarding group completely, and so I went on late. But we weren't even late. I was shocked by how quickly they went. I went over there 2 minutes after boarding started, and they were almost to the end of boarding. It was crazy.
I guess just to show you the magic so you can understand what we mean by that. And when we say magic, it's just everything is so aligned and with ease and happening, and even the problems. So as we talk about it, that's what we mean. That's the magic in life, when things are just working out effortlessly, even the problems, and so we started out slowly, obviously, weird Uber. I don't know what was up with that. Yeah. And when we say the Uber time, I originally ordered it said 5 minutes, y'all. I get back on there, we're getting our bags and stuff. It's up to 10 minutes. I was like, no, I think it was 9 at first. I was like, what? And so I'm sitting there, I'm telling Brittany, and then it was down to 7 minutes. So I'm like, okay, we're making progress. Then it's up to 10 minutes. And I don't know what. I was like, is my driver getting lost? Trying to look at them on the map.
Yes.
And so that was a struggle, but it still was fine. We still made it. And that's the magic in it. It's even though that was close and it wasn't exactly as we planned it, and then the Uber took us a really long way. There's so much faster way we could have got to the airport. We just didn't. We try not to worry. And if either of us was ever getting a little bit, we just remind each other it's gonna be all right.
Yes, our energy's been beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, first of all, this tea is delicious. It
is. Can we talk about
seriously?
tea?
Especially, I didn't realize how raw my throat is, but every sip is soothing.
The flavor.
Girl.
Thank you for this.
Yes.
This is
lavender. What kind is this? I just took
lavender chamomile.
Lavender chamomile. Oh, so good. But when she said there's a lot of stories we're gonna tell you that could have been frustrating, could have made us super upset about things, a few, but every single one it's for a reason. It's for a reason. Everything has been beautiful. So every time we talk about the could be negative things, it's not that we're telling the story, but every single thing we're grateful for exactly the way it all happened. So getting to the airport, we didn't we were there later than we wanted to be, but we felt zero stress. We weren't late at all. We just walked right on. We didn't have to sit and wait for anything. We very, very casually walked in. We were not in a rush, even getting through security, nothing. It was peaceful. And then we sat on that plane. We talked the whole time. Southwest doesn't have the backs. I thought I was going to read, but me and her just sat and talked, and it started out it laid the foundation of us catching up and the energy we want to be in and how we want this to go. It was a beautiful, perfect flight.
Yes, absolutely. And so we got on there and flight was smooth. She booked us nonstop. Thank you, bestie. Didn't have to deal with weird layovers or anything like that. Really got here, and then they had music. It was like Hawaiian. Like, people, who even expected that?
I didn't. She was like talking about how she was like, look at that, it's so cute. And I looked over and there was like a light thing that was, I don't know, I thought that she was talking about it. And I was like, that's really cool to me.
Cool.
I was trying to be like, what does it mean? I thought it must mean something that I was not getting. Some kind of cultural thing. I'm trying to pull it in. I couldn't. And then finally we keep walking and I'm like, oh, did you see these guys? And she's like, yeah, I just told you about them.
I love it.
They did a great job. They
Yeah.
were living their best life, just performing.
It was beautiful.
It was.
It was so pretty.
We must have been watching them longer than we thought. So then we got off this plane.
Oh, yeah, huh?
We did not take a long time, you guys. We were at the back of the plane, so it took a while to get off the plane. But then we just like casually walked. I needed to go to the bathroom, but we were walking past these bathrooms with long lines, and we were just like, let's just keep walking. And then finally, we get to them, and we're watching them dance a little bit. I go to the bathroom while she stayed and watched, and then I came out and we left, and we walked to the baggage claim. Tell me why the one that they told us to go to, no baggage, completely empty, and there was like I was expecting, because I've had to wait a long time for luggage, so I was expecting that it just wasn't there yet. But the confusing part was, to me, there's nobody around the baggage claim. Like, it was like the Twilight Zone. We were so confused. We had the right baggage claim number.
Nothing was on the sign. That was weird.
Yeah, it didn't say anything.
And we kept saying, I'm like, Brittany, I'm not in the habit of questioning her. Like, if anything, I might ask her once. I'm not going to keep being like, are you sure? Are you sure? That's not the vibe. Like, you know, if she said it, she said it. Trust in that, which is going to come into play later about them seats. But about this whole thing being gaslighted.
Yes. I've been gaslighting her this whole trip. You should have seen, once I was telling her why I said things, all the light bulbs, we're going to get to it, but,
yes, but
I know you guys are excited about the concert part, and we have great things, but we just want to tell you our entire, I'm going to put timestamps, so if you do want to get to the concert, look in the caption.
There you go.
Click on it. It'll say when the concert starts, so.
Perfect.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was like, shit, where were we? I got distracted. We were talking about the Hawaii. Oh, the baggage.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm like, are you sure it's 2? And she's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to ask her like 1,000 times, but then nothing, no people. And she was right. For me, the weird part was nothing on the sign and like nothing on the belt, not even stray bags. And so, and for her, she's like, the people. And when I thought about them together, I'm like, yeah, that's true too. Like, no people, no nothing. And then we walked towards the sign, and sure enough, it said 2. And so we're like, what? Because I was like, maybe they changed it on us or something. 2. And so we're just sitting there kind of wandering around like,
where's our bag?
Yes. And then all of a sudden I see him out the corner of my eye, y'all, like honing in. Like that laser vision. I was like, oh, Brittany, there they are. And so we went over there.
Up.
Yeah, thankfully. But that fast?
Yeah. We did not take a long time, you guys, when I tell you. We were not watching those dancers for that long. Probably have video for the whole thing. How were they so fast at everything? And everybody's already gone. Everybody has their luggage. It's to the point where it's locked up. You would think we would have had a meal. How are they so fast?
Yeah, that still blows my mind to be that fast to that level. Like, you done already shut it down, locked it up, signs gone. Yeah. Like, we were not. We did not take that.
We walked.
Yeah.
We were just enjoying everything, taking in the scenery. If you're wondering why we have not barely been live, it's because that's how we're living. Yeah. We're just like taking everything in, and everything's been beautiful, and it ends up like time is. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. That was weird.
Time transform.
Yes.
So we found that. We were really grateful. And then we went to catch our budget. bus and got in that line. That actually it was a long line, but it went fast.
Yeah.
Waiting for the bus, and then like it was our turn to get on the bus. I really just, we wanted to get to our hotel. I didn't want to wait forever for more and more buses, so we was the last two. I'm like,
she shoved us in. I looked at her and I saw in her eyes that she was getting on this bus, and I was like, girl, I'm not gonna have anything to hold. We have these giant things of luggage. Each of us have 2 giant suitcases. And she wants to push us in here. There's not enough for the suitcases. I saw it in your eyes, girl, and I was like, okay, so I pick up my suitcase. I get on, and I'm like in the very corner next to this bus store with the luggage like straight in front of my legs, straight to the side. I was going to put them. I'm holding my luggage. I can't hold on to anything because I'm holding the luggage, and we're just like trying the core workout.
It's real,
girl. When I went on the bus to Post Malone, it was like very, very packed like that. But there were so many people around me that I couldn't move. This was not that situation. This was I was right next to the door with nothing to hold on to, and I
didn't want to fly out the door.
Yeah, there was nobody to catch me. I had to use those muscles to stay up. That's what I'm sitting here talking about how my abs. I mean, the concert. I'm sore from the concert, but that bus ride. Anyway, we finally get to budget, girl. This line was so long. It was so long. Not even that it was that long. It's that they took forever.
Yeah.
There was probably like 20 people maybe in front of us.
But the one guy kept walking around, the agent.
The people working at budget. This line is not moving. And there's one person working there, literally pacing back and forth, looking around. Like, yeah, maybe he's the manager, something that's what he's supposed to do. But if people are sitting there, well, it was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
It took 2 hours waiting for our car. And this man, like, if you're a manager, jump in and help. It shouldn't take me. We have reservations. Every person that has reservations, you should know who's getting what.
Yes.
I understand it's busy. The line didn't even keep getting longer, though. It's that we didn't move.
Yes.
It took so long. That was the most frustrating thing of all of this. But every other frustrating thing that's happened has all been for a reason. I feel like we just don't know what that reason was. We were not supposed to be driving at that time.
Exactly.
We were supposed to be taking our peaceful time.
Yes.
Maybe we would have ended up with a car that didn't give us the same experience that we had with this car.
Yes.
Girl.
Yes. So it all works out. There's something on that note I want to throw out. I don't know if you've even heard of it. The word pronoia. Did I tell you that?
I don't think so.
So it's the opposite of paranoia.
Oh, you did tell me this. I remember that.
Yeah, so that's like I've been trying to tell her. It's what we already believe. And pronoia is the opposite. If y'all didn't hear me, I know I was kind of talking to her, but it's the opposite of paranoia. So if paranoia is you're scared, you think the world is conspiring against you and everyone and everything at all times. Pronoia is the opposite. You believe the world and everyone and everything conspires in your favor at all times. It all works, whether it doesn't look like that, like a long line at budget, right? It works in our favor. We don't know what else could have been out there that was not good if we had been in a super fast line and how that would have changed anything.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never know because it worked out. It's all for a reason.
Yes.
It's
been so beautiful. So we finally get this car. We go out they gave us a Tesla. And we got to get in this car.
Hold on, real quick before she asked this guy specifically. I heard her with my own ears, loud and clear. What do we need to know, sir?
I've never had an electric car. I don't know how to do this. What's the difference? What did he say?
Oh, it's just like a regular car. You just get on and drive.
Okay, this is gonna be easy. It was not easy. Spoiler alert. What do you mean? They need a little manual. These things, it's not intuitive. I feel like we are not just dumb. Like
we're not. No, y'all. Especially if you grew up. We did not grow up on electric cars.
No, I've driven it one time, I think. I don't know anything.
It's not. It doesn't work anything, y'all, like a regular car.
No. First of all, Nikki's son has a Tesla, so he had shown her how to drive it and explained like how to brake it, like you don't push on the brake. So she knew how to drive it a little. Thank goodness. I would have been by myself driving in that car trying to figure out why is the brake. I would have been so confused. I don't know how to do that. I felt so old in this car. So what was the first thing we were trying to figure out before we even left?
No, opening the trunk was the very first.
Opening the trunk. But I feel like we figured that out easily.
We did. Not the frunk. That kind of took a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it has a trunk and a frunk. But that was a little bit. We kind of got through that. The main major hurdle was starting it. We had no idea how to start it.
She magically somehow did something. We didn't even know how it happened. All of a sudden it was just on.
And no, you found it. A lot of times we had to go on Google. Yeah.
I thought we started it easily.
You found it. Well, it's because on Google, once you found it, it was like, just put it in park. And I'm like, what? It was like, I mean, not park. It was like, just put it in drive and go. Like, just go.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you don't have to put anything on. You don't have to pull down the brake. It's just like, just drive. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. And we were like, okay.
Yeah, you had to go on Google.
Just drive. And we did. We drove. But then we were showing the lady, we were like getting out of the parking lot, showing her our rental agreement and stuff. And then she lifts the thing. And Nikki could not figure out how to go.
It's supposed to just go.
There's people behind us waiting. The thing is up. The worker person is sitting there just staring. She offered no help. She just looked at us like,
oh my God.
It was probably a good minute. Just sitting there trying to go. And I couldn't help. Like, I don't have time to Google. We're sitting there waiting. I was just like staring at her like, girl, I hope you got this because I don't.
That lady was eventually like, are y'all okay?
And Nikki just yells out the window, we're figuring it out.
Yo, I could not. So, like, when we first went, remember I just said the thing was like, just go. I gotta get a tissue after this 1 second. But we went, and so when we stopped for the gate, like, the weird thing on the Tesla, if you've never been in a Tesla, is you don't use the brake unless you really have to. It brakes itself. So you're really only using one pedal the majority of the time instead of two. And so when we got like to this gate and I like put my foot on the hard brake and then I opened the door, the car started freaking out on me because I couldn't reach the thing or the lady. And so I had to go like open the door. And the car's like, it's smart. It's smarter than you, apparently. So it's like, like it didn't want to go since the door had opened. And so when I got back in and I'm trying to like drive and go, like it's supposed to like go. That's what it said. I could not figure out why it wouldn't go, but a lot of it was like the weird key thing. So because I had opened the door, it wanted me to re-key. That you have to like swipe it under the armrest.
Oh yeah, I had to Google that too.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense. Once you have it, I feel like
Once
it's pretty easy. But to just figure out for the first time?
You would never know that. Why would your key sensor be under your armrest? First of all. Who would think of that? Why would you just get in a car and don't start it and put it in drive and expect the car to go? Where does that happen? Like, that is not how I was taught to drive. That is not how cars work.
That's not what I was taught.
Just put it in drive and expect it to
just drive. And this is only the beginning of our Tesla story. It's much worse. Much worse.
All right, go ahead.
I was just going to say you get a tissue. Okay.
So we're leaving. We finally figured out key card under the armrest.
Put in the GPS to the hotel. So I didn't want to pay Chicago prices for hotels. We're trying to do this on a budget. So we got a hotel about 30 minutes away from Chicago in Bolingbrook, I think is what's called. Mm-hmm. Because also we had, like, her family stuff is an extra 30 minutes away. So this was kind of in the middle. So when we went to her family stuff, it was 30 minutes the opposite way and then 30 minutes to Chicago. So I felt like it was like central. So it was perfect for us. Yes. The city is beautiful, safe. I didn't know what to expect because I don't know this area and I looked it up and it seems safe, but it is beautiful here. Yes. The people are so nice. Yes. The hotel has been amazing. Amazing. We'll talk about the hotel eventually, but I just love that we came here. So anyway, so we're leaving. We put it in the GPS. It's about a 30-minute drive. And the first stop we went was to a dispensary. They were super awesome. But we get out of this. This is the car stuff, you guys. We're getting out of the Tesla, trying to figure out how to lock the doors. All of our luggage is in there. We don't want to just leave it. So you explain what we had to do. So we're first of all on hike. We think it's gonna be easy. So we're like, yeah, hop out. Let's lock the doors. Yeah. Who's gonna think? Oh, maybe locking the doors is not gonna be easy. Of course, we thought it was easy. We're like, ready to go in the dispo and like, hold on, let me run back and lock it. Lock it. How do I lock it? So we're like looking around, touching the screen, looking for something that says lock. There's no buttons anywhere. If you look on the door handle of the Tesla, it's all just windows or to open the door. There's no lock buttons on the touch screen. No lock buttons because we started kind of catching on that a lot of these features are on the screen, like starting the car and stopping. No, we couldn't stop the car. That was the very first when we got to the dispensary. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Turn it off. I'm Googling, and then we found out that it just stays on for 30 minutes. Yeah. And it'll turn itself off. But we didn't feel good about that. We manually did it. We're like, we're not leaving this running for 30 minutes. It felt weird. It felt weird. It's not what we're used to. This is not life. We're living in the future. Yes, figuring that how to turn your car off was a thing. So that we're figuring out. A lot of this is on the touch screen. So here we are back to the locks. It's not on the touch screen. We're looking everywhere. She Googles it. The guy, she watches the whole video. He just walks up into the door and he's like, beep, with the car key. So she's like, oh yeah, we should be able to just walk up and like beep. And we're doing it, and it's not working. I didn't find a video of someone doing it because then it would have made sense. Oh, I thought it was. I Googled it, and we read it. And so where do you think it makes sense that the little camera is trying to see the code on the card? So we're touching this card to the camera. Like, we were so happy we finally figured out, oh no, you called Sante. Mm-hmm. She called her son, and he was like, you have to... Oh, yeah. Yeah. And... Anyway, so we finally get this car locked. We go inside. Well, we gotta tell them where it was. So the thing, because y'all didn't figure that out until we came out. Oh, we did. Oh no, we did. Because we would have been able to get in if we had figured it out on the way out. How did we lock it? Did we manually lock it? I think we did. We did manually lock it. We didn't find the thing. We couldn't get it to work because we kept trying to do the camera. So it was apparently, I guess, on the keypad, and we manually locked it. Yeah, we found it somehow. I don't remember. So there are okay, because I was just saying it wasn't, but now I remember. Yeah. There were lock features on the keypad. We manually locked it and went in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we walk in, and the people at the desk are just laughing at us. Like, did you figure it out? Because we have been out there, you guys. This is not like we're taking a couple seconds. No, we're out there trying to figure this out, and these people are dying laughing at us. Then we do our shopping, we get everything done, and then we walk back out, and I'm like, girl, we figured out how to manually do this. How do we get back in the car? Because we never figured out how to lock it with the key thing. So then we're out there, and everyone's watching us again. People are slowly coming out. Like, this guy came up behind us and went and sat in the car. A worker person sat in his car right next to our car and just sat and watched us. Yes. We were entertainment. They did their whole day. When they went home and their spouses were like, how was your day? They talked about us. They definitely did. We're trying to get... That's what you called Steph. Yes. And then he finally told us, because we were doing it too high, and you're supposed to do it at the bottom. There's a camera at the top. Why would I think to put the key thing on the bottom? Yes. How is this? And just to explain exactly where this is, y'all, how non-intuitive
Like, really, if you have not seen or been around or used a Tesla, to lock the car is the door jamb between the front door and the
Let me
back
put a
door.
picture.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't even look like anything. It's painted like the car. It's not like a symbol is on there.
It
There's
just
a
has
lot.
a tiny camera that I never
Yeah.
noticed.
Which apparently doesn't have anything to do with the locks.
Because of course we were thinking we had to tap it like on the handle or something. We're like down here on the door like a normal freaking human. But up on the little thing between the two doors?
Why?
Without Google, how would I have known that? Not in 100 million years would I be like, ooh, let me tap this. Never.
You know what we should do? Tap the door jam.
Just go
specifically
around
at the
car.
bottom.
Maybe if I tap something differently. It was so crazy.
Oh
and finally, we got it. And then as soon as we get it, that's when all of the people rush in. Oh, did you figure it out? Like, no one offered to tell us how to do it before.
No, they busy laughing.
Yeah. They literally were just watching us. As soon as we figured out, everyone comes out. They're like, oh, yeah, you just do it on the
We're like, we got it now.
Thank you. Thank you for that help. 20 minutes later, we were out there for a while trying to figure how do we get back in this car.
Walking around it, like, yes, they probably was recording us on their cameras. Like, look at these people.
I guarantee. Yeah. I hope they post it somewhere because
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. It's gotta be.
If you guys see it,
challenge y'all. Find it.
Yes. Okay, so there's more on this card, but we're gonna go in order. What is that?
So real quick,
doesn't that look like a camera sitting there? What is that?
No,
oh, it's that. Yeah. I can see like the middle thing. It looks like a camera.
And you're like, hell no.
Anyway.
So dispensary, before we move on, that was the Tesla part, but the actual dispensary was bomb. Like, we're kind of razzing the workers for just watching us and not helping, but it also, like, we had fun with them. We didn't actually take it personally or anything. We were laughing just to show the energy. Like, this was our first experience with people, here in this side of town for me and her at all in Chicago. And so they were fun. They were helpful. Yes. Love that. We were going to Beyoncé, just help us find everything we needed. And the guy was about it. Yeah. Yeah. The guy. So much time helping us. Like, they really, I felt like we had like a little concierge person like taking care of us. It was a great experience. It was a vibe. And then like my cashier guy or whatever, I had told him where I was going. He totally, I don't know if he was a B fan or just was about that life, but I appreciate the support and love regardless. Mm-hmm. Soon as he was like, oh, what? You're going? He was like, oh, yeah, like hyping me up. You're going to have so much fun. It's going to be great. Like, those guys were so great. Yeah. The service here has been impeccable everywhere. Yes. We're going to talk about it everywhere because the service has mattered. Yes. It has been amazing. Yes. All right. So we leave. We came back to the hotel. Oh my gosh, the whole hotel thing. I'm not even getting into it, but checking in took a while because I was having issues with like my cards marking as fraud and having to transfer money and use different cards, and it took a while. It was very, very frustrating for me. But then I came out, we got in the hotel. I don't remember what we did the first night. We came up. We got in, we unpacked, which by the way, the room, and you have footage, you can show them if you want, but so comfortable, y'all. It's a whole suite. Yeah. First of all, we're not in like some cramped, tight hotel room, And it was cheap. We got a great deal. For 3 nights, right? Was it 3? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. For 3 nights, it was like $550. Girl, for a whole suite? Yes. And they have free breakfast. Yes. And the service has been amazing, which we'll talk about, but this hotel has been great. Comfortable. The beds are like clouds. Yes. So comfy, clean, impeccable. I don't feel icky. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm weird. I'm kind of a snob when it comes to hotels. I feel like we both kind of are, and we deserve to have that. Because we want to be in clean peace. If it doesn't feel peace and beautiful, you don't have serenity. I wouldn't be there. No, you can't even enjoy the things. It changes our energy. Yeah, so it's just been a really beautiful, comfortable stay. Delicious hot breakfast. All these choices. You can make waffles on the spot, girl. Like, hot and popping, so all these fruit juices. It's been a total, like, this was worth the stay and the drive to me. But we got here, we unpacked a little bit, got comfortable, and then we went to see my dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk about the drive. So we went, it ended up being a little further than what we thought it was going to be. It was like probably 45 minutes away. How far was it? 45.
It was like 45, but it's because of the storm that
Oh, yeah. So Chicago got its first windstorm, or not windstorm.
dust.
Dust. Thank you. The dust storm warning, and we've got emergency alerts on our phones that said, be prepared for immediate, like, no visibility, and to pull over to the side and wait for it to pass and turn off your lights and don't push on the brakes, like all these instructions. And we're just driving towards it. I'll put video of what it looked like.
Yes.
But it was so dusty and I was getting nervous. And there was so many semis around us, you guys, and their trailers were like this. I was scared. For a second, I was like, girls, we need to get off and, like, not be on the freeway with these semis. But she, like, gave it a second. She's like, hold on. And immediately, they were far enough away from us. It wasn't scary. For a second there, though, those semis were freaking me out.
It was a lot. I could, yeah, if you've ever driven in high winds, you can feel your car moving. And so that was freaking me out very much inside, not to mention the semis. And, you know, you're just in a new city. Like, it all was kind of, and when we say, like, wait till you see the video, it probably doesn't sound like a lot with us saying, oh, dust storm. But unless you've been in one or anything, and so we're in it. Even like my boyfriend, I was telling him, he's like, oh, yeah. And then when I showed him the video, he was like, holy. And we drove through that. And so it was really important for me to get to our destination. I didn't, you know, like, she brought that up. And for a moment, I was like, okay, like, do we need to maybe pull over? Are we going to have to turn around or, you know, anything like that? But the place we're going might have closed. So we didn't really.
That reminds me. So before we went, Nikki wasn't positive exactly where her dad was. She hasn't been here for a long time. So we had to figure out where, like, what cemetery, first of all. She knew the city and, like, about where, but we needed to figure out where we were going and how to find it. And so she's calling her family, which was so cute. Listening to her talk to all her family. And I got to talk to her sister, which I haven't been able to meet them because they don't live by us. It made me so happy. But so she found what cemetery it was by talking to her sister, but then we had to figure out, like, how are we gonna find him? Because it was at a, like, VA cemetery, or like a national one. What was it called?
Arlington.
The
Arlington
Thomas
National.
Jefferson.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Arlington was what she first said, but that ended up not being it.
Okay. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I'll put it on there. But so it was like, those ones are big, and all of the graves, like, look the same. We never would have found it.
Yeah.
But I looked up the website for it, and I found, like I said, look up someone, like, on the VA website, not even the cemetery website, and it pulled up all of his information and exactly on a map exactly where he was.
Yes.
I didn't even know it could be that easy. I mean, I've never really had to look for something like that before, but it just, like, I was just like, girl, I found it. I know exactly where we're going. It was the best.
Yeah, that was a real manifest because I just, pardon me, had been so hectic and busy leading up to this that I hadn't really had the time again to figure out exactly where he was. I knew, you know, and obviously at the time I was burying him, it was traumatic. So the most I kind of really knew, I haven't been to see my dad. I've seen him once since we buried him, which was like within a year or two. So I haven't seen him since he died in 2009, you know, or 2010, I might have visited. So that's a long time to remember in case anyone's judging, like, how you don't know where your dad's buried. It's been a long time. Yeah.
And she's not, like, you've lived in Chicago, but not the area where he is. It's hard to remember all that stuff.
Yeah, so really her figuring that out, I cannot say enough, y'all. Like, I keep telling her words can't express every little thing that she has done for me. That's one of them, to just, like, make it. And it's been part of the manifest and the magic for me because she took that stress and that load off and she's like, I got this, girl. Like, let me see what I can do, you know. And better than my brothers and sisters. They wasn't even sure, like, what to do. And she had that idea, like, I think I can try to find it online. Like, you know, I don't think she really knew that was a thing, but I think she had the intuition and knew to try. And when I say it took us directly It took us directly, and these graves look identical. So
Yeah.
there's no way if she didn't have that, we would have
No
been
way.
able to find him.
Yeah. And the reason I go back to that and bring it up is that by the time we're in the sunset, like she was getting nervous when we were trying to figure it out. She started feeling those feelings of what if I don't get to see my dad, and that's like very overwhelming for her because it was a very important part of our trip for her. So she was already feeling that. So when we were going through this dust storm, and I'm like, do we need to pull off? Like to her, that's like if we pull off, there's a chance we don't keep going. Like it was a very much stressful for her to get there. So getting through that sandstorm, like it really is a big, big deal.
Yes, and then when we got there, this is part of the beauty too, is I don't know which way that storm was going versus where we ended up, but it wasn't like that at the cemetery because that's 100% what she said. I'm like, if I stop or pull over, this may not happen. And it's kind of an now or never, and so it's
And it
like,
stopped immediately when we got there.
it stopped.
It was windy when we got there, and then it stopped.
No sandstorm.
No, yeah, not even wind.
Mm-mm.
It was beautiful.
It was so pretty and peaceful. It was like a gentle breeze that would caress me sometimes. And, she's like, that's like your dad and the spirits. And I'm like, yeah, I can feel that. And so we went up there, we had a moment together, and then she gave me my time, so patient. Like, I just sat there. She wasn't rushing me, like, oh, like being
I just
weird.
sat in the car. I was like, I'm gonna let you be with your dad, and I went with her to find it. We walked, I mean, directly there, and I just walked straight to it. We didn't even have to like look around in a little circle. Straight to it. I just saw it immediately. There it is.
Yeah.
And then so I saw his grave, and I was there for a second, and then I just let her be however long she wanted to.
So that was amazing. We spent that time, and then leaving, coming back, it was fine too. Perfect drive, no sandstorm, like everything. Oh, and before I talk about leaving the cemetery, while I was there, so just to say, like the pronoia and the magic of everything aligning. Remember what we just said leading up to this, like budget was long, everything, checking in the hotel was long, sandstorm.
Yeah.
I don't know if, there were forces trying to maybe not get me to go or what, but like it would magically, like my dad, I'm sure, was protecting me and bringing me through because it would just work out. And so we ended up there at sunset and the bells play.
You guys.
If we would have been there earlier, we wouldn't have had the bells.
Yeah.
It
was beautiful. We were listening because the bells were going like after like 25 minutes. I was like, how long do these go? Because I thought it was an hourly thing, but once it's into 20 minutes, I'm like, this cannot be every hour. So I looked it up, and it's only during sunset. Like they do a sunrise something, but it's different songs. And then that one's only at sunset, and it's only at those VA national, like not at all of them. It was so beautiful, and the sun is setting, and it was just like sitting in that car. I just had like the windows rolled down. Well, I had them rolled down for a minute, and then I had a panic moment. I didn't even tell you this because I was watching stuff on my phone, and all of a sudden I had this realization. Even though she's way over there, and it's super, like it wasn't super windy, but it's Chicago, like it was windy, and I had this panic moment where I'm like, what if she can hear my phone and I'm interrupting her peaceful moment? I panicked and I turned up the window, but there's no way you were hearing that.
Yeah.
But I still was just like, I can't interrupt anything. But I just sat there like listening to the bells. It was such a peaceful, beautiful moment.
Yes. And we wouldn't have been there if we had gotten here and everything had gone smooth prior to that. We would have been there a lot earlier and not had that extra special touch of those bells that only happen at sunset. So it was just the perfect magic.
It's magic.
Yes, beautiful. So we started heading back.
Yeah, well, I wanted to say, for those of you who don't know, because on the thing of like, it feels like her dad, her dad had like his hand in all this because everything just has been perfection. And for those of you who don't know about how I got the tickets, I just wanted to hurry and say this. So it was on her birthday, tickets went on sale, and I was trying to go to LA because that's the closest and cheapest flights from Utah. And I realized that LA was Pacific. And so it was the last chance that I would have. And if I didn't get them, I don't have another sale to go to. And it was like 5 minutes before the Central Time Zone ones went on sale. So I just went to a Central Time Zone. I didn't even look at what it was. I was just like, I'm going to practice. I'm going to look at the prices. I'm going to get an idea of this. So I was expecting, because people are in those wait queues all day. And I was expecting to just have like 100,000 in front of me, but I just wanted to get an idea of it. So I go in literally 5 minutes before it started. It starts and right away it said there was only 2,000 people ahead of me. And I was like, that? How?
Mm-hmm.
How? I just got on. I was blown away. And then I get into the room and there's so many tickets, and our tickets, the 300s, were $150. And I was just like, there's no way I can't get these. I didn't even know what city I was looking at. I just bought them. And so then I get like out of it and I'm like, where am I even going? I look at it, Chicago. And I was like, okay, I've never been to Chicago. So I was double excited for that. And then I told her about it, and that's when she told me, because she has family across the entire country. I cannot keep track of where her family is everywhere. So I had no idea that she had family in Chicago or that her dad was buried here. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it just like, I can't believe how easily those tickets came to me. The fact that they brought us here.
Yes.
And she was able to experience that going to see her dad.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. Beautiful. And also just to say, like, the experience that she created this for me beginning to end, she's so thoughtful, and that was greatly appreciated and added to everything leading up to the Beyoncé, right? Like all of these are building and adding and building the feelings. And so I'm like a witchy spiritual type person. And so she went the extra mile. Once we were there, she bought me a pendulum made out of lapis lazuli, which is good for commune with those who have passed on. And she gave that to me. Like, how thoughtful, y'all. How amazing is
I wanted
that?
something that would like grasp the energy. And I was like, crystals pull in energy. So my original idea was just get her a crystal that she could have with her all the time and hold it. And I was looking through all these different ones of like, what kind? Because I wanted her to be able to have him with her. And I didn't want just like a stone that she would hold. Like I knew she could keep it in her purse, but I saw the pendulum, and the fact that the stone was for communicate, like spiritual communication and stuff, I felt like that was perfect, and it's so cute. It's beautiful. I'll put a picture of what it looks like. But and then also because it's a pendulum, like that's how you like ask yes or no questions. Like she can feel like he's with her while she's having it, and just with that energy, I thought she would just love that. So
It was perfect. And out of the divination tools, the pendulum is my favorite. It's what I'm most kind of comfortable and feel like I get the most connection. I'm still a little new with cards and things like that.
I
For all
didn't
you
know
people
that.
into that, yeah, see?
Aw. We're so aligned.
We
all the
are.
time.
She didn't even know, and that's like my jam. I love a pendulum. I can really connect and get some answers, and understand it. So, yeah, for her to pick that specific of all the things, especially when different ideas crossed her minds, just shows you the magic and alignment that we keep referring to.
Yeah. So then let's see. We left there. By the time we were on our way back, we were just hungry and tired. We had been up since so early.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went to Buffalo Wild Wings because we've both been craving it. Even though we have them in Utah, we were like, some wings sound good. It has been a long day.
And they were.
Yeah. We planned to go live that first night, but like as you see, everything just like we were just living it. And we got back, we were tired. We just went to bed.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. It was a beautiful day.
Mm-hmm.
We got through all the stressful stuff. It was beautiful.
Yes. Had a good night's sleep. Well, you didn't really sleep until.
It's just been hard for me to fall asleep. So I'm pretty tired. I'm excited to sleep in my bed tonight, but it was good.
But once we got the room a little cooler and closed the blinds,
Yeah.
she was able to get a little bit better rest. And so then Saturday, when did we wake up? We had our nice hot breakfast when we woke
Some
up
waffles.
downstairs. And then what else did we do? We hung out Saturday. That's
Yeah.
when we ended up down at the Riverwalk.
We came up and got ready. We wanted to spend Saturday just learning lyrics and like being prepared. We wanted to learn some dances. We wanted all the things. I'll get to that. But so we came up here, got ready, and then we just sat here and we practice the lyrics. So we were trying to find the heated, like just the part that with the fans and stuff. And I couldn't find anything that would just loop it, so I made a TikTok for a sound of just the sound looping, and we just left it playing. By the time we finished, there was like 600 views on my video, and it was only us. Like there was very few other things, but we listened so many times, and we got it down. We practiced for hours.
Yes.
For hours.
Yes.
And then finally we were like, well, we want to move on to whatever's next because we wanted to do dances. But our plan was to do that, learn that because that's what we cared about the most. Then go live, then and ask you guys what dances do we need to know, what other like pieces do we need to know, and then practice dances and stuff all night. That's what we were going to do. But Nikki here, when she was putting on her makeup, realized another issue.
Oh my gosh. So good thing we were like kind of getting cute and I was able to try my makeup the day before. So I had just went and bought and treated myself to all this new MAC makeup. Was so excited, had the lady matching me, and she was like, oh yeah, I did this back in Utah. You know, they put it like on your chin and look at your neck. She's like, oh yeah, so I couldn't see it, you know, because she's like doing it down here. And I'm just like trusting her. Like, what am I going to see? And I kind of looked in the mirror, like, I couldn't, it's hard to tell when it's like way down here. And so I'm like, I guess, you know, trusting her, how gorgeous it was. And so we get here and I'm like, getting ready, you know, and I'm like, Brittany, is it just me? Or is this looking off?
It was not just her. She looked like a ghost. It was so light. I couldn't even, if it would have been close, even a little close, I would have been like, no, only you will notice that. No one else on earth is going to notice it. It was not that. Everyone was going to notice.
Oh my god.
It was so bad. I could not believe that they matched her. I thought for sure you didn't try it on.
Girl, that is a shame. So now I will put a disclaimer. I did have a color that I took in because I get darker in the summer and stuff, obviously, and like a little lighter in the winter. So you can kind of go between shades depending on the season. So I did take this color in. I'm not going to put it all on the lady, but she does have to take some culpability because, and she even said, so she definitely has to take culpability because I came in like, yeah, I want this color. And she's like, okay, well, let's sit down and color match it to make sure. That is when you know, because she's like, we have like new, like they've changed the ingredients or something. Something had changed about the product. It had been a while since I had gotten it. And so she's like, yeah, let's make sure maybe it doesn't look the same on your skin, you know, because of how it's changed. So yeah, she does get some responsibility, even though I'll take mine, but she gotta take her. So yeah, Brittany was like, oh my god, no, like that's definitely not. Thank goodness for your honest friends, because she could have just been lying, like scared. I don't know, people lie for different reasons. Just like she could have been like, no, like you're chilling, girl, and I probably would have listened, you know, because I'm like looking and I'm like, is it the lights? Like maybe it's where I'm standing. I just wasn't, you know. And so she was like, okay, maybe we can find a map. I'm like, oh, you're brilliant. Because I was kind of just really upset for a second. But she's like, you know, we got the car. We can probably just exchange it. Boom. So we found a Mac. I called them up, explained the situation. They're like, yeah, absolutely. You can come on down. We'll take care of you. And because we want to do these videos and stuff, we kind of were going to put it off and maybe do it like last. But Brittany's like, nope, she's like, I think we should just go right now. Stop what we're doing. So we didn't get to do the lives or anything, which I know was really important to her, but she sacrificed that.
We got all the way because I knew later we were going to want to chill. I was like, if we know we have to leave, we need to leave and get it taken care of so we can then be back in our peace.
Yes. So we got down there, went into the Mac. Oh, first of all, our parking space manifest. Seriously.
It's hard to find parking in that area. We went up to, say the name of the city again. I forget every time. Naperville. And we just literally, we were just driving around, and then we pulled into this parking lot that was super full. And right when we pulled in, someone pulled out, and we just pulled right in. We didn't even have to. And everyone said the parking here was going to be so horrible. Everything has just been manifesting beautifully.
Shoot, pulled right in, perfect space. Mac was right there. We was right downtown, and so as we were like looking for the Mac and on our way to figure out where to park, we were just like, "This is cute."
Yeah.
Like looking around, and we're like, "Oh my gosh!"
It is
Because
a
we
cute
were gonna do
city.
something else. I think we're gonna do White Castle or pizza
Yeah, we
originally.
grab something on the way back and eat at the hotel because we had dances to learn. It took us hours to do heated, so we were like, I wanted to do spaghetti, and I wanted to know the dances. So we were just getting fast food on the way. That was our plan.
But then we just saw how cute.
Yes.
Y'all, like, if you've never been, or shout out to people that live there, it is the most beautiful little town.
So walkable. You can just walk around to like everything. And okay, so we walk into the Mac, and these women were so funny. They were so helpful. I feel like you should tell them this part.
So as soon as we walk in, and I'm like, you can see her eyes already, like.
Look at her like, that's the girl that called me. I see makeup.
Yeah. She was the one on the phone. I was like, yeah, I called. She's like, yep. Already knew.
And she's like, sit down. And I was talking to that other lady. Did she completely redo your makeup? Because it all looked fixed.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she ended up redoing it because I had the old ugly stuff on. And so they were just looking like, who? And then the other cat or rep makeup artist, I'm not sure what they're called, but the other makeup artist was like, they matched you? Because I was telling the first lady, like, yeah, this is how they matched you like that?
Who did that?
Yes. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, where? Who did that? I'm like, Utah. She was like, oh. I'm like, yeah, a white lady. I'm not saying nothing against white folk, but apparently she don't know how to match.
Yeah.
Not that white lady to black folks' skin.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, a white lady. She's like, say less.
It all makes sense now. She was confused when they first said it. It was so funny. The way her face changed when the realization hit her, it was so funny.
Yes,
It was
hilarious.
Yeah.
So we ended up chopping it up with her. She's
I love
a
her.
vibe.
I'm going to move here. We're getting into that, but she's going to be my first friend. I will be going straight back to that Mac. And I'm like, I just moved here. Will you be my friend?
What's your number? Yeah.
I loved her.
Yes, she had nice nails. Like, she was so our vibe, y'all. Positive, like, telling us all the things.
Yeah, we asked her because we were like, we saw a cute restaurant on the way in. Where we want to get something to eat around here. Is it like, I was expecting, because in Utah you wait for hours if it's a really nice restaurant. I was like thinking there was no way we were gonna have time to go to any of these. And she's like, no, everything around here is so good. The waits don't get that long, maybe 30 minutes or so. And we were like, we can do that. It was a little bit chilly. And you guys, I thought we were going to just change this foundation and come right back. I'm wearing little short, what are they, sweat shorts, and just like a t-shirt or something. I don't know. But I was not ready to be in this cute ass place. It was so cute. So then she starts telling us like recommendations of around, and then she said that Gordon Ramsay, one of his restaurants, was right there. I was like, how did we end up in a city that has a Gordon Ramsay restaurant? Like, that means all the stations around the quality is super high too.
Yes.
And it was a random place where I was like, we got to be in the middle of Chicago and her dad, and randomly picked a city. It ends up being somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And you can just walk around. And so we walked out. We wanted to go to the Gordon Ramsay one, but we got there and it was closed for a private event. And so we were trying to remember what else she recommended, but she was like, but we remember she said anything was good. So we're like, let's just walk. So we just walked right away. There was this Italian place, and Nikki was like, ooh, this looks good. And I looked at the menu and I was like, So I was thinking, like, because she had me thinking steak. I was thinking a steakhouse sounded really good. And then I was thinking about pasta, which I was thinking about like Olive Garden, because we live in Utah. Like that, when I go somewhere, I go to Olive Garden. I was like, that doesn't sound great. And so we just kept walking, and then the smell stopped me dead in my tracks. I was just walking by, and I was like, that smell though, girl. So we turned around, walked straight back in, and I'm just like, please don't be a long way. And we asked them, and they're like, oh, there's open seating at the bar, and it's open.
In this crowded restaurant, because we were like, how long if we did want a table? Yeah. She's like, an hour and a half. Girl. Yeah. Or you can just sit at the bar right now.
Yes.
And we went and sat right down, and people kept coming. Like, even that, you might be thinking, like, was the bar empty? No, the bar was packed too. Right after we sat down, more people kept trying to come in.
There was people waiting in lines for the bar.
Yeah, trying to get at the bar.
It just happened to be open for us.
Mm-hmm.
Every single piece of this entire trip is like magic, 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 magic. Everything is just working out perfectly. We just sat right down. And then it wasn't like, if you think like, oh, but it sucks to sit at a bar. No, then this man comes and sets it up all cute for us, puts a little tablecloth, sets our plates, puts the silverware, puts a little, I'm pretty sure he put like a little vase with like flowers in it. It was so cute. Yeah. It was so cute.
Yeah. It was adorable. And our food was so fast. And crowded. We just said this restaurant was jumping, y'all. And our food at the bar, you would not think, like, boom, our food was out before we knew it. Absolutely. Girl, just delicious. And one of my favorite things about a good meal is the temperature. I do not like no lukewarm meals.
That part.
That is not the vibe. And this was just like steaming the whole time. It actually was hot. Whatever they're doing, like, it was hot for the whole endurance of me eating that.
Yes. It was so good. We stopped talking. Literally, we were just eating and we would just look at each other, girl.
Yeah, that's all we could do.
That's it. Like 500 times. Girl. That's all we did. It was so delicious.
Yes.
And that place wasn't even one of the places she recommended. Like, imagine the other places.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, the people are so nice. The people that are next to her on this side, they're just talking to us. People over here are talking to us. The new people coming in keep talking to us. Everybody was. And I was just looking around, and I was just like, this is what I'm missing. Because in Salt Lake, I tell myself, I don't want to be on dating apps. I have no desire. So if they say just like get out of your house, be somewhere where you love that makes you available. So I go places, I take myself on a date. I try to every weekend, not lately because of the Beyoncé stuff, but I go out, I sit at the bar and eat, like, because they say sit at the bar, that's where it's social. I am every single time the only person at the bar, just sitting there. Every time I go anywhere, I'm by myself. Yeah. And I was just looking around at all these people. I was like, if I was going out by myself here, everybody would be talking to me.
Different.
It like felt different. It felt like where I felt like I want to be. And the people were so nice. The energy of every single person, the service we have received, like it's a beautiful city, but it's the energy. Yeah. The way that I feel around people. And in that moment, I was like, Nikki, I am moving here. Yeah. Like this was the moment I belong. And then I started looking, I'm like, it's the Chicago area. It's going to be so expensive. It's a place where they have a freaking Gordon Ramsay restaurant. So I just look up apartments near me. And I was thinking maybe I could get somewhere near where our hotel is, so like 30 minutes away, because it seems like a smaller city. It wouldn't be like as nice as that place. But I just looked up near there. The freaking apartments that are literally like you just walk over from them, less expensive than Utah. Crazy. Less expensive. For a 3-bedroom apartment in Utah, it's like $2,200-$2,300. And these ones were like $1,400.
Girl, like, come on.
I think it was for a 2-bedroom though, but still.
Either way.
I found a 3-bedroom was still way cheaper, but it was so inexpensive. So I could not believe the 14. I was so shocked that when I first looked at the prices, I didn't even notice the one in front because I'm so used to Utah and expecting it to be a 2. So when I saw it, I thought it was like $2,400. I was like, it's only a little bit more. And then I'm showing her, and then as I'm looking, I'm like, wait, this math isn't mathing. And then she's like, girl, this is less.
Yes.
I would be paying less to be in this beautiful, and that was right next to where we were, where you could walk over to all of these restaurants. I'm sure they have like workout classes there. Everything is so walkable. And at home, I feel like I'm very comfortable in my space, but I don't ever want to go anywhere because I can't walk anywhere. I can't. Like, I would want to get cute walking over there. I feel like I'm frumpy in Utah. I sit at home. I work from home. I do everything in my pajamas. I don't get myself ready. It makes me not take care of my body because I'm not constantly getting myself ready. I just feel like this is you guys, I can't even say more. The energy It is where I belong.
Yes.
I've never
Yes.
experienced this. I never travel and think, oh, I would love to live here ever. I go back to Utah and I think, I am so grateful to be home. It's clean, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I love Utah.
Mm-hmm.
But the energy here, like, I've never felt so drawn of like, this is where I belong. Like, I
Yes.
promise you guys, I'm moving here.
Yes.
I text my kids and I said, would you move to Chicago? They both said no. So I have to wait until they graduate high school, unless I talk them into it. But I don't know if I want to do that anyway, because their dad is there. Like, it'll probably be 5 years. My youngest will be 18 in 5 years. And I'm just going to save all my money so that I can get rid of all the furniture I have and just come here and buy all new furniture. Because I don't really have very much. I just got rid of a lot when I moved. So it's magic. It's magic here.
Yeah, and I can see her here. I 100% support this because like here compared to Salt Lake, just to add on that, it's not the same vibe. It's totally dry. Whereas here, not only was it a nice town, y'all, but it was like a happening town. There were so many, it wasn't so many people like New York vibe where you're like irritated and it's
That stresses me
yeah,
out.
like shoulder to shoulder type thing. And it wasn't. It was the perfect, I'm telling y'all, like balance of people and pedestrians everywhere. Like everybody's just so happy. There's no rude. Like the energies were just so this would I too can see her moving here and being so comfortable by herself that she could do it, you know, and be like, oh, I can go out and explore and drive and naturally meet people. They're gonna come to me, and I know that it's gonna be aligned because she did it during this trip. This was just her signs proving to her, you know, and then your astrological that align.
Yeah. The I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called. The one where it's a map and it shows all the lines. I'm going to put mine here so you guys can see it. But I was reading off to her what it says about my birthday and like living in Chicago, because it's like lines across different cities and they say what each city is for. You guys, I'm gonna put what it said, but it's exactly how I feel, because I just looked that up today while we were at brunch, and I was just like reading through this, and I was like, everything I've been telling her about the energy. It says my confidence will be higher here. It says my creativity, and you guys, I've been getting idea after idea. It's felt magical. And then I remembered that in the past I had seen that, and I was like, I wonder if Chicago is a city on that chart of mine. I couldn't believe what it said about it.
Yeah.
I've never felt more like I found where I belong, ever.
Yes.
Like, this is the city where I am meant to live in, and I'm going to.
Yes. And we didn't even tell y'all, oh, there's a river. We didn't even tell y'all we
No,
stumbled.
we're not even there.
Yeah, like, oh my goodness. Once we left that store or the restaurant and started to explore, this is the perfect city. It's got everything.
It had that.
It's
We
got
were
everything.
just walking along the river because we were going to get ice cream, because the lady recommended some ice cream. We were going to Ben and Jerry's, and we're just walking along. It was the most beautiful, peaceful walk. Everything was just so. I was just taking it and like imagining, like, if I lived here and being able to walk in all these places.
And it'd be a great place for content.
Yeah.
And she'd be so close to Soldier Field. Like, there's so much
all the
aligning.
big concerts. I don't have to travel for every concert, because right now I can only go to the smaller people that come to Utah. Any big stadium tour, I don't get to go to.
So that would be perfectly aligned.
Yeah.
Y'all would get so much more footage.
I
Yeah.
don't want to be frumpy anymore. I want to have cute clothes, and I want to feel like I have places to wear them.
Yes.
I've been buying myself new outfits, but I don't wear them.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Here you
I
would.
want to be here. And then for all of the big things, like, I can go to Chicago and see, like, buy a
If you
big
wanted to,
city if I
yeah.
want to, but I don't like that energy very much. But this out here, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that we ended up staying out here.
Yeah. It's a vibe. I think this is exactly like I can 100%, and we're putting energy, y'all. So stay tuned. See her journey over 5 years, because and I honestly think that 5 years is fine because it gives you time to like align all the things exactly how you want it.
Yeah, I want to become the person I want to be when I live here, which is someone who gets ready, who has cute clothes. I want to have all the outfits. I want to go to the gym and feel like I have body that I want to have to go out and be cute here and live my best life. You guys are gonna see the biggest glow up ever, because I am determined. Like, this is where I belong, and this is what I'm working towards now. And I don't have to be caught up in like all the little things that matter, like dating and stuff.
And the guys are hot here. You was checking them, right?
I went on because I was like, I want to know how the men are. And I haven't been on dating apps. I don't do them. But I downloaded Tinder and I just like swiped for probably 2 minutes. I just looked through for a minute. I was, these guys are hot. I swiped right on probably, I am picky.
She is.
I swiped right on probably 4 or 5 guys out of like 10 or 11. Like, I did not do this for very long. And then I keep getting notifications today that have messages from people. And I'm like, how?
Yeah.
I went through a couple people. I've matched with every single one of those people that I'm not going to talk to them.
It's all signs. It's all signs just to show you, like, because that would be lame if you love it and then, like, the dating is not.
I feel like the men in Utah are not going to be the men I want. I just think the vibe in Chicago is going to be the vibe of person that I want to be with.
Different, yeah.
Like I won't date in Utah anymore.
Yeah.
Because I don't want someone to hold me back. I don't want to meet someone and have them be like, I don't want to go to Chicago. No, that's my dream. That's what I'm doing. I am moving here.
Yeah. I like that. I love that because she'll get to meet a totally just different type of man, you know, who has different experiences growing up, different mindset, and she can just be aligned. The fact that she's going through this with her feelings and creating the magic she wants, she's definitely gonna find that one, you know, and it's gonna just align and be beautiful. And I might move here too. Yeah. I gotta convince my boyfriend.
I feel like he will. I feel like once he feels the energy and he like hears you talk about it,
yeah,
and how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Plus, if I was here, I love her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I would love to be able to see them more because we would be able to be close to each other and walk over there. We used to work out together every day. But then I moved a little further away. It's just too far for us. Like 45 minutes, and we have to drive so far to be in the middle.
And we don't work together anymore. Back when we worked together, sometimes we'd go like right after work and stuff. But
now it's too hard. And if we were closer together, I just feel like here we would be our best selves. We would create magic. And I feel like we create magic together. Yeah. And we're not able to be together enough.
And here we could be in a beautiful, just new, you know, change the scenery. I think this would be the perfect change in scenery, you know, especially coming from Utah. Like, it's just so different. Even the food is different than Utah. Utah don't be seasoning it up like that. We were talking about that. I'm like, girl, I'll pay all this expensive money and stuff. We'll go somewhere and it's still not like mind blowing. I'm not saying it's nasty, but
I regret it every time I go out to eat. I'm like,
yeah, because you done spent all that money. Yes.
I did not regret not one thing we've paid for. It's been so good. So anyway, so we go through the rivers and then we just are like walking through the city as we're like walking over to the river. And there's a Barnes and Noble. I love books. We walked in. Look, I'll show you guys. I got these 2 books. I've been wanting this one. And it's the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. And I was like, I feel like this is like the vibe of the cute city that I'm at. Like, look at hold on. Like, the doors were like that. Like, that looks like it. Like, I'm walking around this cute city. And so it made me feel like it was like a manifest book. Yeah. It's a small town, spicy romance. I feel like that's how I feel, even though it's not a small town. I feel like it's a small town to me.
It gives small town vibes.
Yeah. And then I was checking out, and the guy was like, oh, here's our monthly specials. And, like, just told me what type of book. He said this is a suspense or thriller or something. I have no idea what this is about. But he said it was the book of the month, and whatever it is. Good. Yeah.
I told her pass it to me when she done.
Yeah, I haven't even read the back. I have no idea what that's about, but he recommended it. I've been everywhere we're going. I'm just like taking everyone's recommendations and doing them because nothing has steered me wrong.
Yeah, it's been a great way to create what you want, you know. And so we went to Barnes and Nobles, and then we went. I think that was about the end of the night.
Yeah, we went to get ice cream.
Oh, Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
Oh, that was yum.
That was good.
Oh, I think I got like a marshmallow something that I've never had. I tried like a new flavor. It was like this blue ice cream. It was marshmallow something. It sounded kind of crazy, but it was really good. And really good. Yeah, I've been trying to try some new stuff too.
Yeah. And then we came back, and then it was late, and we went to bed. So instead of we didn't have all the lyrics for Spaghetti, we didn't learn any of the dances, but we had a life-changing experience. I found where I feel like I belong because oh God.
I forgot that was before we went to this.
Oh my god.
Not to cut you off.
Yeah. I don't even remember saying because now I remember that, but
you found a life-changing experience.
Yeah. It was amazing. So we decided that we needed to charge the Tesla on our way back. We wanted to get it over with, so we didn't want to do it on the concert day. We didn't know how much energy it would take. So we finished our experience there. We're driving back. We're looking for a place to charge. There's like an app that you get to find where you can charge the car. So I download the app and it takes us to a dealership. Oh my gosh, we get there and I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I like pushed on my phone to pay and I held it up to thing. It seemed like it was working, but you have to like plug the adapter into the charging thing. And I could not figure out how to do it. I'm sitting there trying to get on and Nikki's looking at me like, girl, you gotta give us some like gusto. Like, put it on. I'm like, no, it's shaped wrong because where it was supposed to have like a space, it was solid. Like there was no way for it to move down. Someday someone's gonna have to show me how that adapter thing works because I do not understand. So we can't get it to charge. We finally give up. We go to a different Tesla dealership. We're sitting there forever trying to figure out how to charge this Tesla. And then finally there was someone who pulled in next to us. So we got out, asked him to help us. He had to show us, but the one we were at was actually broken. He was like, oh, you're going to have to move over a space. So we did, but we never would have known that.
Yeah. And we actually had to go to 2 locations. The first location we went to wasn't a Tesla charger. There was like the official. So we needed that adapter. And that's why we were struggling. And it was like cold and it's late. And so I was like, girl, let's just try and go to a straight Tesla one because then we don't need the adapter. So this was like kind of the struggle bus, y'all, when we say, and we got there. And then we get there and we're at the broken station for the Tesla one. So it still wasn't working. But Brittany embraced her energy and went and asked for help. And the guy was very kind and bloop, bloop. You know, it took us like an hour. It was kind of long, but we got a full charge. Yeah. And so that ended up being a vibe.
It was great. We just sat and relaxed. It was great. Okay, so then we came back again, tired, went to bed, and then we got up for concert day. And we just got up, had breakfast, and then we just came up and I went live for us to get ready. We spent the morning getting ready, getting some content. I've been filming all of this. I'm gonna put it in this video. I mean, by the time they see this, they'll have already watched the whole thing. But it's just been magical, you guys. And then we got ready on time. We went over to the Beyoncé concert, you guys. I paid for the parking. I thought I was like, maybe I should try to find something cheaper. No, I paid $60 for parking in the Waldron parking lot. Best $60 I've ever spent. It was so worth it. We got to sit and in the car. We went early, right? We got there at like 4:30 or something. And we just sat in the car in the air conditioning and did some content. I got like a few things edited and posted so you guys could see our outfits. And then we had no stress. There was no traffic getting there. We literally just drove straight in, straight to the parking spot. We left the car, walked straight in. It was like a less than 5-minute walk to get over.
No stress. And she had been reading, you know, just to show y'all part of that manifest. We've heard like other people are not having this easy of a time and traffic's been crazy at these very concerts we're at in Chicago. Even the weather, the first night, like what if we would have had tickets to that night and the weather was like so crappy in this open air stadium and they had that torrential downpour. So it's like everything has just been aligned. We had the tickets on the perfect night, the weather worked out, the traffic, it was not nearly like we were expecting the stress to be a lot higher and for it to be a lot harder, and it was just like
everything
flowing
from the beginning, just from Ticketmaster battle. I didn't battle, it flowed. Everything has just, we have had no stress. We've had like tiny moments of stress and then it ends up being beautiful.
Yeah. And then the seat surprise. So y'all, let me tell you my version of this. So get in there. And we're walking around and then she's like, I just want to find our seats first. Actually, I think she brought it up in the car at first. And remember, I had heels and stuff. So I'm like thinking about it. And she's like, I just want to find our seats. And I'm picturing nosebleeds. And then it'll be easier. And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. I was like, but
you really want to go? It's just a lot of extra walking. She did not want to walk to our seats first. I was like, once we find our seats and we have our bearings, we know where we are, we can go to the places near it. And she's like,
And I'm like
why would we not do
picturing.
all that on the way to the seats?
Yeah, and then I think it clicked back in her head that I'm thinking nosebleed, so she quickly was like, "Oh, well, I mean, we don't have to go up to the seats. Like, we can do that later.
Just find this section."
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Oh, okay."
So I was like, okay, I'm down with that. So we're walking around, we get in, get our bracelets, super cute. And then like we went way up at first, and then we started going back down, and I was like, why are we? So I'm just following her, and she's way ahead, like fast, like speed walking.
I didn't want to give her a chance to be like, what section is it? What are we trying to find? Like, I was leading. I knew what I was doing. I tried to be more confident, and I did not want to be near her because I did not want any questions.
And I was.
Yeah.
She did that right, because I'm sitting there, like, following her, and I'm like, what? In my mind, I'm like, why are we going down? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I was just thinking content, you know? And so I'm like, maybe she's trying to, like, find an area to do content and stuff like that. So that explains in my mind, like, why we might be, or it's a stadium. I'm like, maybe you got to go, like, down to go up. So it wasn't like, you know.
So then you're thinking you have to go all this way, and then you're going to have to go
Yeah.
all that way back up.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like in my head, I'm like, just trust her. She's got this. And then we get down there, we're getting to the section, and it's this nice section. And she's like, okay, just go.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just going to record us walking down here. And so she's like acting all hesitant. I put a short clip on TikTok, but I'm going to post the whole thing. But she's just like so confused. I was like, Nikki, just walk. Okay. So she's walking down. He said, she keeps looking back at me. I'm like, just walk. And she's like, keep going. I'm like, keep going. Go down there. Because we were on the 8th row, so we have to walk down. Just keeps. I'm like, girl, walk. And finally we get to the row. I'm like, okay, this row. She's like, okay. So she walks a couple in. She goes to sit down. I'm like, no, keep going. And then finally we get to sit. I'm like, okay, these ones. And we sit. And she's just looking at me. She's like, okay. And you can actually sit. She wants to like pose. She's like, did you want me to? And that's what I told her. And she was so confused. This is them.
You lie. You fucking lie. You fucking lie. Girl, I thought we were up there. Are you serious?
That's why I made you look at the tickets first. I mean, the seats first. You're like, girl, why are you making me walk all this extra? Just for a video.
Oh my god, are you
We're on the 8th row.
What?
So
Oh my
funny.
gosh, reliving this, y'all, because I really was like, she's describing it exact. I was just so confused, and I'm like scared because I'm like, I was like, is security gonna get us? Like, I didn't know what, y'all. I didn't know she was sneaking in the section. We was getting content. I didn't know what my friend was up to at that point. But I was like, hey, I'm not gonna question if she say, like, every time I try to question, she's like, oh, okay. I trust you.
I literally was not answering your questions. I knew her confusion. I was acting so. I know I was irritating her. Not answering anything. Just go.
No, I was just scared. And I'm just like, what is she? I was just like confused and lost. Not even annoyed. I'm just like, just trust her.
Yeah.
Hey. And I'm just like so scared. And like, because I keep thinking any moment, y'all, I'm like, some security's gonna come over here. Like, hey. Hey. What are y'all doing? Like, that's what was in my head. Especially when we went down the row, and I felt like people were looking at us like, what are y'all doing? That's how I felt. It probably wasn't like that, but in my mind, like, I don't know what we're doing. So in my head, because remember, I'm like, just trust her. So I was like, okay, just act like you belong. Act like you belong. I'm saying that in my head.
Act like you belong.
I promise you. Because I'm like, if I look shady, like, I'm really going to look sus. Like, the security is really going to come. You got to own it. Act like you belong.
And look at you. You did belong.
Come to find out. Oh, my God, y'all. That was the greatest. I'm telling you, she did that. She did that. I had no idea. Down to the very last minute, even when she said it, I was like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, you are all the way lying right now. It was not sinking. And she's like, no, I swear. I'm like, no.
It was so great. I'm so glad I kept that part a surprise because it was hard.
My gosh.
I wanted to tell her the whole time. It was hard. I just kept picturing that experience of just walking down and realizing the 8th row, and then like that the second stage is right in front of us.
Yes.
These seats were perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. And I paid $250 each for them.
People were paying $800 for nosebleeds.
Yeah. The blessings everywhere. It was amazing. And then so we find our seats. And we're like, let's go find the merch. We walked out and there's a merch table right outside the door of our section. So we're like, well, let's just go here because we don't want to be walking around searching for all these places. So then we get in the line of the merch section. I went live for a little bit. And then we get to this. I really wanted the blue sweatshirt. And they didn't have that anymore. She wanted the jerseys. They didn't have that anymore. But we're just going to get something here. Because there was a lot of people. I just wanted to sit in our seats and be there.
Relax.
I had wanted to like find the whiskey, find the sacred, find all of this stuff. But once I was in there, I wanted to meet. We didn't even meet any of the people. Yeah. It was just crazy. It was pretty hectic. No way. Mm-hmm. So we got our merch. In fact, we haven't opened these yet. Yeah, let's open them. So I got this. First of all, this sweatshirt. I'm so happy that this is the hoodie I ended up getting because I prefer zipper ones. I just didn't know if I liked this specific one. But now it's literally my most prized possession. This is what I wore. I ended up putting this on. It kept me warm. We have a relationship now. Like, this thing is important to me. I'm so grateful. Like, for $150, I was like, I don't know if I want to pay that, but worth every penny. So cute. Now my arm's kind of blocking that on me. So this just has the cities. It's not Chicago specific, but it does at least have Chicago on there, which was important to me. So, and she looks so hot. So hot. I love this shirt. I love how it's faded. It's cute. And Memorial Day is coming up. It's kind of got Memorial Day vibes. So I'll definitely be wearing that. Yeah. And then we each got these. Yeah. I've been needing a silk scarf, so I'm very excited about this. Ooh, I haven't touched it, looked at it. I saw it up on the wall, but barely glanced. I just knew I wanted it to start. Oh, this is cute. Sacred Roadshow. Oh, they're satiny. Oh my gosh. That's big. I love this. This is beautiful. I wanted it to use for my hair under my bonnet when I sleep because it helps like pull it out better. But I feel like it's too nice. I'll be using mine as a shirt. That's how I envision it. Or a skirt. Yeah. One of the others. But like this will 100% make it super cute. Yeah. Top. It's super cute. I love that. I'm so excited. So, and then that's my plans for me. Oh, man, a shirt is. I thought it was all together. But I also got the shirt that says, this is a Beyoncé court tour, not a country tour, whatever it says. Because I've been saying that my whole journey. All the time I say that. And I needed that shirt to recognize that. Ooh, that is cute. Might be able to freak it like that. I'd probably have to wear booty shorts, but yeah, that's cute. I can't wait. You have to send pictures when you do that. Different ways to freak it. Yeah, so then, let's see. Then we went back to the seats after we got our stuff. We didn't go anywhere else. We were sat. And we bathroom just break. We're cold. That way you didn't have to. Nikki was cold. Yeah. Thank goodness she wore her warmer outfit. She had a couple options. If I would have went with my other more hot girl outfit, y'all, I wouldn't have made it. Mm-hmm. It was so cold. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit miserable for a little bit waiting on her to come out. She was miserable. And I just heard Brittany, she's like, oh, she doesn't look happy. It just made me giggle. She did not look happy. She's like, oh. Yeah. I saw in her face, she was miserable. And I just kept thinking, I hope when Beyonce comes out, she can get past this cold thing because she was unhappy. And when she gets unhappy, she gets very quiet and just like spaced off. And I was on live talking to everybody, and she didn't even talk to you. She was just like off. And I was like, oh, she is not having this. So then I went to the bathroom, and oh, it was just so great. I just love women everywhere. And all the compliments, all the making friends. It was so great. I had seeing everyone else how they were dressed. It was so magical.
Yeah. It was fun seeing all the outfits.
Yeah, it was.
That girl in the red dress.
Yeah. The one that was on my live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, she slayed.
Mm-hmm.
So beautiful. Yeah, so then we went back in, and then she started. We got there, and it was just like, again, flowed perfectly. We were not waiting for very long for her. We weren't late. We just went to that merch stand right outside the door. We had no stress, you guys. Nothing like trying to get us to be like quickly getting through anything. Like, we were just like
easy breezy.
Yes, living our best life.
Yes. And then Brittany, thank God, brought some hand warmers. That didn't, when I say, and yeah, like I lived in Chicago when I was a kid, but I was a kid. And so I really kind of underestimated the level of the cold and that wind. Like I forgot. It was like, you're going to learn today. You're going to remember right now. And so it didn't dawn on me leading up, and that's all I could think about when I was sitting there is all the different ways I could have like been warmer. I'm like, I own a fur coat. I could have brought my fur coat. I could have bought my own hand warmers. I could have worn some fuzzy socks. Like that's all I could think about was just like warmth. And how can I like, and so it was not super fun, but she had those hand warmers and I had my jacket, and so I put that on, and I had bought my t-shirt. So I layered my t-shirt and then my jean jacket, and then she let me use her leather because she was warm in her hoodie. And so that really started to make a difference. And then she let me use her hand warmers, and I just like, before I had put my t-shirt on, initially I just had my jacket and I had to like wrap my hands and like clench for life, dear life, out of these hand warmers. Like, keep me.
Yeah, I wish I would have made sure they were more charged. They died pretty quickly. But I didn't think it was going to be cold enough for hand warmers. It's been beautiful. I knew it would be a little bit colder because it was by the water, but not like that.
Yeah.
It was cold.
I was a little heartbroken when they died. But once B came out, which she said, and I embraced that, I'm like, yeah, it should be. And once she came out, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was not even a thing really at that point. So an afterthought.
Didn't think about anything the whole time. It was magical, you guys. We are going to do like an entire, I'm going to edit all of our footage from the concert, do all of that, and then we're going to watch a Cowboy Carter concert and react to the concert so that we can talk about our experience of every moment. So in this video, we're not going to do that. This is already long. This is just our vacation experience. For the concert experience, we will react to all of that. It's going to take us a bit. I have to find if there even is a video that exists by now of different clips from different places. I'm sure there is, but I've got to find something for us to react to, and then we got to film it and then get it up. But we are going to talk about our entire experience, every single song, everything she did, everything we noticed. But we need like that to look through and talk through it. I think it'll be better than just us like going off our memory. But I just want to talk about like the feelings, you guys. The energy was so beautiful. When it first started, that first song, and hearing like the echo of the crowd, like singing, the level of like bliss and like peace, and like when she starts singing, just her voice and to be in the presence, it was so amazing. I haven't even told you this either. I was filming my reaction when it first started, and I looked down and it wasn't recording. Do you know how many times that happened to us from both of our phones this weekend? Did they do an update on iPhone or something? Because why are both of us thinking that we're recording and being like, oh wait, it wasn't even recording, like 5 or 6 times?
Yeah, I don't know, guys.
That never happens to me.
Yeah.
It was weird. I don't know. But so I didn't get the very initial reaction, but it was just beautiful. Of course I cried. I cried so many times through that concert. Every time I thought about how lucky I was to be there, how beautiful her voice is, I was crying a ton. It was amazing.
Absolutely beautiful. I was honestly more worried about connecting and feeling and dancing and just like living it. So I didn't cry until after it all of a sudden kind of hit me when we were in the car and I was through the excitement and the shock, of it all and exhilaration. And then once I got to sit down and soak it in, my tears were just really flowing in the concert, though. It was just like, she's here and I'm here. And I just really wanted to you can never recreate that time and space again. Yeah, we might see Beyonce more, but that's in the past. That's what, we were talking about. It's done, it's over, and I wanted it to be exactly what I wanted. And it was to that level where I honestly, y'all will remember that when my life is flashing before my eyes on my deathbed, that's going to be one of the memories that's going to come to my mind this whole trip. And definitely that being one of the highlights. Just to be like in her presence was very powerful. Especially at the end. Like I did almost cry there at the very end. My eyes welled up, but mostly it hit me when I got in the car and I was just like, whoa, like you just did that.
The experience of that last song, oh my gosh. I didn't record any of it because I was just, it was like one of those moments where you're like, I am never going to feel this again. And you recognize it in that moment that you are just making magic. Even right now, I was telling her afterwards, it felt like I was super high. And I was not. It just was like the most natural high. I feel like even right now, just thinking about it, I'm getting like goosebumps all over my body again. And my insides are feeling like love and happiness and overwhelm all over again. It's starting to make me feel that like high feeling just thinking about it again.
It was amazing. She is definitely the type of person you will want to be exposed to if you ever get the chance, if you haven't had the chance. Like listening to her music and getting to be in her presence, I think, are two different things. And so that she's just always and forever like sealed in my heart now after seeing that. And so just the love, and then her kids.
Oh.
Like
you guys, so I had the 2 spoilers that you guys know about, but when it was Protector, I told Nikki, I was like, record this part, and then she wasn't there. And so then I was like, she's not there, never mind. So we put our phones away. I didn't get my reaction to her coming out because I thought she wasn't coming out this time. I was kind of sad for a minute. I was like, I can't believe she's not here. And then she came out because even like the tiny spoilers, I knew I didn't know when, I didn't know any of that. So I didn't know that she came out a little bit later or if that's even normal. But then she came out and I was like, so it felt like I got that surprise all over again. It was so exciting.
And Blue slayed it.
Oh,
can we talk about Blue?
Blue. Girl, where's your phone? You should look up her very first performance that she ever came out.
Girl.
Do that.
Yeah, I have to do that.
Yeah, because it's unbelievable.
She slayed. I mean, walked out with so much confidence, and she redid her mom's Crazy in Love performance from the video, and she nailed it. She did beautiful. I just appreciate how Beyonce is empowering her daughters and showing them that's what she wants for women, definitely her own daughters, but she wants that for all of us. And that's what she has been for me, and getting to feel that in person is even like that much better. But that's what her music, it's what her intent is, and it's what it's been for a lot of us, is just find your empowerment, find your message, find your strength, through that. It's artists like her that really let me know it's okay to do some things, especially as a woman. And I grew up, Church Girl is one of my favorites just because I grew up in the church, but so many comparisons that she makes between like being considered a thought or something, and like that's okay. So what society is saying if they're calling you a thought, like it's in all her music. Drop it like a thotty, like do you know what I mean, and embrace it. Why does stuff have to be bad all the time for women and negative? You can be sexy, she talks about her pussy, she talks about her ass, like why can't we embrace these and talk about these things? And it was very different for me growing up. And, obviously she grew up in the same era. And as she found her way and her voice, she shared that and it spread out, and so that's definitely what it's been for me. Just seeing her growth has contributed to my growth along the way. There's a lot of shit that her music got me through. And so being able to culminate that into a concert, has been amazing.
Amazing. And she was right in front of us singing.
So close.
Our seats, I can't believe that I was able to make that happen, because for those of you who don't know, I upgraded them. So at the beginning we talked about getting those 300 seats, but then I called and upgraded them. It was only an extra $100. It was amazing.
So worth it. I wouldn't change it.
Going in as a surprise, I cannot tell you guys how wrong you are not doing it that way. Like, I know that's what you guys love and that's what you want to do. And I couldn't, if we had like a July show or something, I couldn't have waited that long. I would have wanted to see stuff. But one of the earlier shows, not knowing anything, because we didn't go in like hoping anything would change or seeing like a malfunction. Somebody messaged on there, I guess there was technical difficulties. We had no idea. We were so entranced and in the moment. We didn't know what anything to expect. Even though I knew the set list, I had never listened to the set list like in full altogether. I always had it on shuffle. I mostly was listening to like the songs as I wanted to learn them. So I had no idea what was coming, even which songs. It was unbelievable. And during all of the interludes, they're like, everyone around us is just talking. Like, you can tell everybody's singing it. And me and Nikki are in a trance. Like, we were there. Nobody else was as like we were. We were seriously just mesmerized every single second because we had no idea what to expect. We were trying to take in everything. We did not speak during any of the interludes or anything other than being like, girl. And that's it. Like, we did not, we were so into it. It was unbelievable doing it that way. It was the best experience ever. I will never do it another way.
10, 10, 10 across the board.
Yeah.
And those visuals, those interludes. We did not pee. We peed in the beginning. We prepared. That way we wouldn't have to. And I'm glad.
Yeah, I could not believe when people were even going to, like, they would be trying to cross us. And I was like, you're walking right now? Like, how are you not watching?
Yeah. So shout out on the tips for that because the interludes were amazing. The whole thing was a total. I haven't seen concerts, even the way we were talking about, like, I guess we'll get super into it when we do our reactions, but just the visuals, the way she leveraged the screens and the props and the dancers.
Oh, they killed it.
I would not have wanted to miss that and be in no bathroom line. Get out of my face.
Yeah. And we did get more content than I expected to. Nikki was filming a lot of the stage. I didn't film anything of the stage, but I got like some of my reactions that you guys asked for. But I recorded more of my reactions because filming the stage is harder. I feel like because you're watching it through the phone, you have to make sure you're in the right place. But filming myself, I didn't even look at it. I literally was just holding my phone and like I was still focused. So it didn't feel like it was taking away anything. So I got more than I expected, which is good. I'm glad that I get to share more. But magic. It was amazing.
And then she ended and began with American Requiem or Amen. I thought I liked it, the beginning and the end. I think that was really beautiful. And hearing her voice echo throughout like Daughter and things like that through that open air stadium, just absolutely like chill factor. So I will always remember this. And then getting out when it was over was fine. Like, we didn't know where we were going. No, we had no idea what was north, east, west. We were just like lost. We had no idea what to do, and we followed our feelings. We feel like we should go this way. Oh, that's what I think too. Let's go. And we would look around. I think we should go this way. We walked directly to the car. Didn't even look at a map. Didn't even look, like, nothing. We walked directly there, and we didn't even know at all where we were. We were all turned around. And she was like, oh my God, we didn't take a picture of where we parked. I'm like, we got this, girl. Yeah. And we did. Straight there. Didn't even have to look. Follow that intuition. Like, our intuition has been on point. Before the concert, when we were at the hotel, I was talking to the lady at the hotel and asked if we could get a late checkout today so that we would have time to film this. And she was like, oh yeah, do you have a late flight or something? I said, yeah, we're going to the Beyoncé concert and then tomorrow our flight's on until like 9 o'clock. And so she said, oh, I'll let you stay till 3. So she extended our
check out until 3. And then she was like, if you need longer than that, just call down, and said it will be fine. And it's just been everything. Every person we talk to, the customer service, the level of like, we hope for something and it just happens.
Exceeds. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has been, that's why we haven't been posting, we haven't been live. Like, I have a lot of content to post for you guys, but it is going to take a while because I am enjoying this. I'm having a whole life-changing experience right now, and I want to share it with everyone, but I want to share it with everyone at the right time, in the right way. I'm just so happy about how everything has turned out perfectly.
Yes, yes. And the lady she talked to that extended us was the manager. Like, she didn't know that. How you just align with the manager and happen to mention the Beyonce, and she's like, because at first she was going to charge you, or she said to 1.
Yeah, she said to 1.
And then she's like, the Beyonce part or something kicked in. And
I said Beyonce. She just literally, it was just talking to her. It's literally just the energy feel. Like, she just said 1 at first because that's what it was. And then just after a couple seconds, she was just like, I'll just do it till 3. Like, she just changed.
Yeah.
And she had just gone to her first Beyonce concert on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's been amazing. I want to be here so bad. These are my people. Utah is not my people. Everyone says how we're like in a bubble, and I was like, I travel and I don't feel like I'm in a bubble, but I came here and I feel like I'm in a bubble.
Now she know. Yes. Yes.
That was amazing.
Utah's different.
I will say though, the crowd wasn't what I expected. I expected it to be way more hype. A lot of people were just in jeans and stuff.
Oh, heated too?
Yeah, I didn't even barely hear fan clacks.
Girl.
Like, it was just us.
Like, y'all did not represent.
Yeah.
Where was y'all at when heated Chicago?
Yeah.
I'm calling y'all out.
I don't know if it was just where we were, but even like the dancing, when we weren't filming, like when we were filming, we would be like singing a little, but when we were not filming, we were cutting it up. We were dancing, like taking up the people left to the left of Nikki left early, like so many songs early. So we had this whole like row basically, and Nikki's using it as her like walkway, like using this whole path dancing. Like, we were going on a show, and everyone around us was just like this. Like, they were at a concert, and me and Nikki were at a Beyonce concert.
Yes, hello.
We're living our best life.
Yes.
Oh,
today.
It was amazing.
Let me get it in.
Yes. We were getting it.
Yes.
I loved it. I kind of like was hoping, I was like, maybe someone around here is someone that knows me and they'll like get videos of us. Because I didn't want videos, but I would love that. Because we were the only ones around who were just like dancing. But I will say, like, when it came to singing, though, when she had everybody sing, everybody knew all the words.
What
like
singing, yeah.
Yeah, you could hear the singing. It was just dancing and stuff. They weren't really that much into it.
And yeah, a lot of them didn't go super all out on their outfits.
Yeah.
Like some of them, but...
There were a lot of really good ones. But not as... I expected
the level.
crowd to be more hyped than they were.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed and heated, I'm not gonna lie.
I was
really excited.
I'm calling y'all out.
Yeah, because I saw the videos of it, of like the whole stadium and the sound of all the clacks and like...
And had me excited. I really thought that moment was gonna... Y'all was waiting.
We spent hours learning that heated stuff because we wanted to feel that and like feel the... It didn't even sound like a louder chant part. Like, I expected the whole stadium to like uproar. There was no uproar.
I pictured something totally different.
Yeah.
That ain't Beyonce's fault. That's the fans' fault. Where was y'all at?
Yeah. That was the only thing I was disappointed in, which is another thing. Like, if I had seen more of it, how much would I be disappointed in? Because I thought something and it wasn't right. I was not disappointed in anything. Every single moment was
that goes
magic. The
whole thing. That goes to show you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, so we'll talk about the whole concert in more detail later, but then we came back. We tried to go live after the concert in the car. The service sucked. Nobody could hear anything. So honestly though, again, even though I was like a little frustrated at the moment, the second I hung up, I felt that like relief because I didn't really want to be live. I was enjoying it and taking everything in. And right after I was like, you know what? Blessing. Because I want to just sit here. We just sat there and talked, waited for the parking lot to clear out, talked about our experience. Like having that moment talking about it with my best friend. I love talking to you guys, but that was a moment, and I'm grateful that live didn't work.
When my tears flowed.
Yeah.
Got to have that moment, you know.
Then we had our moment, and then we got in. Everybody was cleared out. We just drove away. We had no stress this whole
Even
time.
as we were leaving, y'all, like, there were these lines getting out of the parking lot, and the people waving, and, like, one of the lines he was waving people into, I don't know, it looked like I don't know where they was going, but it was long, and then he, like, waved me into this line. We was driving past everybody.
Yeah. Mimosa moved us into a different lane.
Yeah, like the empty lane.
We did not wait. I'm telling you, when I say we didn't wait a second, not 1 second did we feel that pressure of like, oh, the traffic. Not once. Because I swear, our frequency that we are on right now, one of you guys, I don't know who, I'm going to go look at who was, but it was my favorite comment ever. She said, whenever she like gets some Beyonce hate or anything like that, she's like, how did I end up here?
Yeah.
How did you get on my frequency? And we've been saying that over and over. Anytime anything happens, oh, we went to what's that burger place called?
White Castle.
White Castle. The service was not good. We made a video about that, so I'm not going to go through the whole story here either. We kind of have to hurry, but it was just that moment too was like one of those moments of like, oh, this isn't the best experience, but then I don't remember how it ended up being something so good. I don't know. Everything has just been. I'm so happy.
It always works out.
Always works out.
Pronoia.
Yes.
Adapt that into your life. Believe the world and all things are conspiring for you. Even too, one last quick thing on that pronoia note is just like we didn't necessarily leave. Like, yeah, everything flowed just to go to show you, but we wanted to actually leave earlier than we did and stuff for the concert. And we did, and we were kind of behind the schedule that we had set for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get out there on the highway and there's this bad accident. That could have been us.
Yeah.
If we had left on the time that we wanted to leave on the road that we're traveling, that could have been the timing. And then now it's us in the accident because we left at a different time earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So that just goes to show you, like, you never know. We weren't, and we weren't even late. Like, it didn't affect nothing, you know, as we just got done telling you everything was smooth. But it's like, for a second, I was kind of like stressed, you know. I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't want to hold her up. Like, I know how important this is to her, and I'm slow. I don't know how much. They call me molasses, y'all.
She's slow.
I'm slow. Okay.
She's living a life for her. Is she?
Yes. You ain't Russian area.
Yeah.
I just am my whole life. I'm a slow person. And so, you know, I kind of was like, oh, you know, I was feeling a little bit bad. I didn't want us to miss the things and stuff. But then it all ended up working perfect. So it was fine. So the more like I can bring myself down, which I did, like, hey, pronoia is working in your favor. It's fine. It's going to be fine. Don't give in to that worry. And every time, like, if she would feel, I'd be like, girl, and remind her, like, it's going to be fine. We're fine. Whatever came up that we had throughout this trip, and she would tap in and we would tap in, and sure enough, it all seriously worked out. We did not ever have to like actually do anything that was crazy. Like, the stuff would end up working out. We'd end up figuring it out.
Yeah.
You know?
That's been perfect. And then this morning, we went down to go get breakfast, and we forgot, since it's a weekday, they closed an hour earlier, so we missed breakfast. And at first, that's because we were literally in the room, and I was like, how much of a blessing has this breakfast been? We have not had to leave the hotel and go find something to eat. We just walk down, have our breakfast, come up, we have a slow morning, have it be peaceful. I literally was going on and on about how nice this breakfast is. Walk down, we missed breakfast. So for a second, I'm like, ugh. I'm like, okay, let's find a cute place nearby. And we found this brunch place. You guys, it was so delicious.
So cute.
The drinks, so refreshing. So good. It was incredible. I like another thing. Yeah.
Like, it looked so aesthetically appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good. I can't wait to go back. Every time I come back, because I'm going to come back all the time, I'm going there. It was so good. So
yeah, it all worked out because then we got to have another new experience here. And so, amazing.
And now we've got to pack. And then what are we doing when we leave here?
Probably, if we have time, we got to charge the car and then try to catch the bean.
Yeah.
At least the bean.
I'm hoping we're at least get to the bean. We have to be at the airport by 7. We need to leave our hotel by 3.
Yeah. And
we have a few hours.
I really want her to see the bean, if nothing else.
I'm really hoping to have pizza too. We're hoping for the bean and pizza, because I've got to have those two things.
The Giordano's, yeah. So wish us well.
Yes. Thank you for hearing our trip story. It's been amazing. We will come back with more details from the concert, but
the crazy tales of Brittany and Ariel.
Love you.
I love you.
It's been amazing.
It has. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for being the most wonderful human to spend it with. I love you.
Oh, I love you so much.
So much.
This was the best. Until next time.
Bye.